What up? How's it going, guys? So something happened this weekend.
Something happened, yeah.
What was it?
Well, we did a brick.
That's cool, but that's not really what this is about.
Oh, you're talking about the pros.
Yeah.
70.3 World Championships.
So, let's get into it. This is who I had. Alright. Oh, there we go. So this is who I had, top three was supposed to be Tim Don, Tim Reed, and then Sam Appleton, with Sebastian Kienle and Andre States finishing in 4th and 5th, and then, just left it. I guess I should have listened to Ironman.com, because Javier Gomez took it. So, who did you have?
Well, I had Daniela Reef to win it all, Holly Lawrence, Kelsey Withrow, Heather Jackson, and Annabelle Luxford.
So, who wasn't in the field that you had?
I'm going to say it's really hard to do well on your top 5 picks when numbers 3 and 4 aren't even in the field. They got a DNS, did not start. Kelsey Withrow did very well. She did race that weekend. I did look up all these people to see if they were prepping for races.
Yeah.
They were. Kelsey Withrow was just prepping for a race in California. She did the 70.3 Santa Cruz.
So
my bad.
Well, that's not your bad. This brings up a major beef for me. If you are a professional athlete and you are seeded for World Championships and you are also, let's say, the number 1 in the world, you're either not racing and on the couch, or you're at World Championships. So, it wasn't just her. There were other pros on both the men's and women's side that were seeded athletes, seeded pros. So they're like the top 50 of the pro division in 70.3, and there were many that decided not to show up and to race elsewhere. So that's a beef for me. If you're a pro and you got seeded for World Championships, you're either on the couch or you're at home or you're in the race. You're not, hanging out at Santa Cruz. Not hanging out, in Germany doing another race and whatever. This is World Championships. You're the number 1, you're the number 5, you're the number 6. You're at World Championships. So there's my beef. I said it. Now let's get into who actually finished top 5.
Okay, so I'll start with the women because I'm holding the
Notes.
Daniela Reef took it home. She had like a 7-8 minute lead on the next competitor, which was just ridiculous. We were watching her on live stream and it was just ridiculously fast. She just looks cool and cucumber, not affected. Like, she finishes that line, she looks like she can do it all over again. It's pretty impressive. So I did pick her to win to get first place, and she did get first place, so I feel like I get some brownie points for that. Quick side note, Holly Lawrence, I picked her to finish second. She had a tough day, didn't finish. It happened, she'll be back. She said she'll be back. So that was a tough day for her. And like I said, Kelsey and Heather weren't even there. And then my 5th pick, Annabelle Luxford, she came in 6th. So I feel pretty good about that pick as well. Back to who actually came in. There's Daniela Reef. There's Emma Pallant. Daniela Reef's time was 4 hours, 11 minutes, and 59 seconds. Emma Pallant was 4 hours, 18 minutes. It's about a 7-minute difference, 36 seconds. 3rd place was Laura Phillip. 4th place was Sarah True, and I almost put her on my list because she is another ITU World Championships crossover. She's an American. She's very fast. I believe she's been on the podium in the ITU circuit this year too, so she's doing both, which is impressive. Like I said, and then number 5 is it Pele? Hell? Fredenskin? Sorry,
I don't know.
She is also Swiss, like Daniela Reef, and that is your top 5 women.
So, if you don't know anything about Chattanooga area or the Chattanooga course, It involves a against the current swim and an uphill ride and an uphill run. So it's really tough. It's like, I think there's like total 2,000 feet climb on the ride and like a maybe 750 foot climb on the run. So again, like I said, I didn't really care to talk about Javier Gomez because he was seeded 10th. And to me, if you're seeding these people correctly, the guy who wins the championship is not going to be seeded 10th. So that's a beef with all the people that do all the fun things. But I will say, Ironman.com also picked him to win the dang thing and said it was him and nobody else. Which, whoa. However,
Ironman.com knows their stuff.
They made, whoever the writer is, shout out to you. You made a great prediction. Good for you. However, let's get into it. So, Javier Gomez, he was first out of the swim by like a long shot, right? Yeah. He's first out of the swim, then got overtaken by Ben Canute 20 minutes, like 30 minutes into the ride, and then Tim Don and Sam Appleton and even Sebastian Kienle got in front of him. And I think at some point Javier was like 8th or 9th of the men as far as the pack was concerned, but you didn't really think he was going to make it, especially the way Ben Canute was just going out there and trucking. And then Tim Don, also great athlete, set, the world record for the long course. On the dismount, he had passed Ben Canute, and he was in the lead probably for like 20 minutes. And although Javier Gomez had fallen, to the latter half of the top 10, by the end of the bike, he had made up a bunch of ground and was basically sprinting through the half marathon, and to the point, like, he ends up passing Appleton, Kienle, Ben Canute, and then Tim Don, and then Ben Canute and Tim Don basically trade places through the rest of it. Total times, Javier Gomez 3:49.44, Ben Canute 3:51.06, Tim Don 3:51.59, Sam Appleton 3:53.32, Sebastian Kienle 3:54.44. That's fast.
That's very fast.
All of them. That's fast. So, really great race. Like I said, if a guy is if he's actually supposed to win, and you guys are doing all the computations, seed the field correctly. However, I'll point out, overall, the men's field was seeded pretty well. Women's, outside of the champ, not so much. But yeah, it was a really fun race because you saw the ability to still, like, I guess, crank your torque and get some sprints in, rather than a long course where it's like pure endurance and whatnot. So it was a good race to watch. And the cool thing that Ironman did was they split the coverage. Women raced on Saturday and the men raced on Sunday.
Yeah, can we talk about that for a second? Some of the pro women said, thank you, Ironman, for giving us our own day. I know that's how the ITU circuit does it sometimes, but otherwise the women are standing around kind of waiting for the men to all start, and then they start, and so it was pretty cool, and I think they enjoyed it to have their day. Women, you go, you're center stage, rather than like women are just like naturally a little slower than men, so rather than the men being always the first ones across the finish line, it was kind of nice for, I think Daniela Reef is the one that said it, the awesome job, Ironman, to give the women that feeling of racing the race where no one has traversed ahead of them, which is pretty cool. So, females rock.
Yeah, so we'll be back at the beginning of October to preview your field for Ironman World Championships Kona.
And we will include athletes that are actually racing.
Like, subscribe, comment down below.
Who do you think will be
Really helps
successful
out.
at Kona?